what are the different things you are currently learning at N8N, and what are your perspective right now as a developer advocate working full time for a
Mhm.
student who is just approaching their career? What might be the piece of advice you might like to give them?
So developer relations, it often I have talked to a lot of people who want to get into developer relations, and I always ask this question, like, why do you want to, get into DevRel? And some common answers that I get is, you get to meet people, you get to travel, you get to talk at conferences, and all those things. Yeah, that is that is true, but that is just a very small part of developer relations, right? To give a talk at a conference, right? You need to first need to learn how to use that tool. You need to have the technical knowledge for that, and without trying out the tool, without experimenting with the tool, how would you gain that experience? Because speaking at conferences, creating content around that, it 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 is easy in a way, but what would you do if someone comes up with a question, right? How would you explain to them? So I would say developer relations, what it looks like from outside as a student, is a bit different than what you actually do, right? So you need to learn a lot of things. You need to learn how to communicate within your team and outside of your team, because as a student, it's easy to just say hi and like communicate with people like the way we do. But now you are a professional, so there are some etiquettes that you need to follow. Like no one is going to teach you that. You get to learn it on your job itself. And in developer relations, there are a lot of things that come into place. You would have to write content, you would have to write documentation, you would have to do community support by answering questions on the community forum. You would have to give talks at conferences, do live streams. So there are a lot of things that you have to do, right?
Mhm.
So you if you are not comfortable with any one of those things and you think that you wouldn't like doing it, I would say, just focus on the things that you are comfortable at the moment. Try experimenting a bit. But if you really think after those experiments that you are not comfortable doing that, just be transparent about the company that you are interviewing for. For me, I am always ready to experiment with things, with every type of the content that I do. So for me, it was not never a problem. So yeah, and another thing I would say is just, try to connect with other developer relation folks. Like this stream is one of the best ways to do it, because people that share their experience with you, so you can get more insights of what it is for a DevRel's day-to-day job.
Definitely. And Twitter is a great platform, as Nimit mentioned. And whatever you mentioned are a lot of different things. Like it's just about communication within the team and outside the team, because you are the person who interacts with all of them. You are the advocate from the outside folks. Like you're helping and
Yeah,
supporting them,
yeah,
as one
yeah.
of the people also mentioned in the chat. And other than that, designing programs, like talking with the customers at point, like you are onboarding customers as well today, as you had mentioned. And there are multiple things, and it all depends on the particular job role of what the
Yeah,
developer is.
exactly.